JID nga po. At test po natin ngayon yung distance visual acuity nyo using the Snellen chart po. So first sir, yan, dapat po 20 feet po kayo yung layo nyo sa Snellen chart. So okay na po yung distance nyo sir. Tapos sir, test po natin both eyes nyo pero one at a time po. So first po muna, yung isang eye nyo, takpan na lang po natin ng palm nyo po sir, pero wag po natin lagyan ng pressure sa kabila. Okay po sir? Sir, start po tayo sa taas hanggang sa baba po.
EFP, POZ, LPED,
Yes po.
ECFD, EDF, CZP,
Yes po.
FELO, PZD,
Yes po.
DEF, POTEC.
Yes po. Sir, sa kabilang mata naman po tayo. Starting po tayo sa taas, pababa po. Start po sir.
EFP, TOZ,
Yes po.
LPED, PECFD,
Yes po.
EDF, CZP,
Yes po.
FELO, PZD,
Yes po.
DEF, POTEC.
Yes po. Very good sir. Sir, nakikita niyo po yung E?
Hindi po.
Okay, malapit po tayo sir. Nakikita niyo po yung E?
Apo. Ano po?
Sir, takpan niyo po yung kabilang mata niyo sir ulit. Ilan po to sir?
1,
Ito po sir.
2,
Ito po sir.
3,
Kabila naman po sir. Ito po, ilan po to?
1,
Ito po.
3,
Ito po.
2.
Okay po. So, sir, kabilang isang mata po muna. Nakita niyo po to sir?
Apo.
Kabila po sir. Ito po sir, nakita niyo po?
Apo.
Okay po. Sir, ngayon naman po, tetest po natin ngayon ang light perception, sir. Tetest po natin both eyes niya, sir. One eye at a time po ulit.
Mhm. 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 Mhm.
Kabila naman po.
Mhm. Yes. Mhm. Yes.
Okay po, sir. Thank you po. So, sir, ngayon naman po, itetest po natin ngayon ang near visual acuity using Jaeger's chart po, sir. Ito po, sir. Tapos po, dapat, sir, 13 inches lang po siya. Ang lapit niya, sir. Okay. Okay na po. Tapos, sir, saan po yung kaya niyo pong basahin? Okay po, sir. Start po tayo, sir.
Reservoir Augustus to relinquish the ambitious design of subduing the whole of the earth and to introduce a spirit of moderation into the public councils, inclined to peace by his temperate situation, it was very easy for him to discover that Rome, in her present exalted situation, had much less to hope than to fear from the chance of arms, and that in the prosecution of.
Direct fundoscopy allows to look at the back of the eye to check the health of the retina, vasculature, and vitreous humor. It can reveal changes in the optic nerve head indicative of glaucoma, like an enlarged cup disc ratio and nasalization of vessels. It produces an upright image of approximately 15 times magnification. It is indicated for the following: high-power study of the disc and macula, measures of elevations or depressions, measures of diopteric power of the eye, and study of small lesion. First, ask the patient to sit comfortably. With the room lights dimmed, instruct the patient to look straight ahead while trying to not move the eyes. Set the focusing wheel of the ophthalmoscope to 0. Set the aperture wheel to select the large round white light. Begin to look at the right eye about 1 foot from the patient. Use your right eye with the ophthalmoscope on your right hand and place your free hand on the patient's forehead or shoulder to keep yourself steady and to aid your proprioception. In times of COVID, you can instead hold the arm of the chair. When looking at the patient's line of sight at the pupil, observe the red-orange reflex. Slowly come close to the patient at an angle of about 15 degrees temporal to the patient's line of sight. Try to keep the pupil in view and turn the focusing wheel of the ophthalmoscope to bring the patient's retina to focus. When the retinal vessels come into view, follow it as it widens to the optic disc, which lies to the nasal center of the retina. Examine the optic disc, retinal vessels, retinal background, and the macula. Repeat the steps on the patient's left eye, holding the ophthalmoscope with your left hand and viewing with your left eye. Here are the normal findings. Thank you.
Normal pupil function can be affected by a variety of pathologies, so a careful assessment is important. The examination of pupil function should include the assessments of pupil size, shape, and symmetry. Also, reactivity to light as well as direct and consensual response. But before you do the pupillary light reflex test, explain to the patient the procedure.
For this next test, I'm gonna inspect your eyes ng mas malapitan. I'm gonna use this pen light. Iilawan ko yung eyes mo. It might get a little uncomfortable, pero mabilis lang, okay? Okay.
Instruct the patient to look straight ahead.
Tingin ka lang dun sa wall, steady lang.
Pupillary reactions are measured in dim light. Check for the direct pupillary reaction, consensual or indirect pupillary reaction, and you may do the swinging light test. For the accommodation reflex, observe for constriction and convergence of the pupils.
So, for this next test, sundan mo lang ng eyes mo itong finger ko, okay? Okay, tingin sa malayo. Tingin ulit sa finger, okay. Tingin sa wall. Tingin sa finger. Okay.
Now we will document the results as PERRLA, which means pupils are equal in size, round, and reactive to light and accommodation.